now 7:31, and the Belton Independent School District Board of Trustees are now convened in a special board meeting on Friday, September the 15th, 2023. A quorum of board members is present. This meeting has been duly called, and notice of the meeting has been posted in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code 551. I want to welcome the members of our audience to this meeting. As the Belton ISD Board of Trustees, we are here to set goals, listen to reports, approve budgets, contracts, personnel appointments, and make policy for the district. It is not the role of the board to make day-to-day operational decisions. The management and day-to-day operations of the district are the responsibility of the superintendent. We have policies and procedures in place to resolve concerns and issues. This is a meeting of the Board of Trustees held in public, not a public meeting. Prior to this meeting, board members received information related to items on this morning's agenda. Agenda items may not necessarily be handled in the order listed on the notice. This meeting is open to all who wish to attend and hear the matters discussed. A recording of the meeting will be available on the district's website in the days following this morning's meeting. For the video to adequately reflect the proceedings, I respectfully ask that you please refrain from talking while others are speaking and that cell phones are turned off or in the silent mode. Thank you for taking the time to join us this morning and for your interest in Belton ISD. The first item on the agenda is public comments. None? All right. Moving on to item 3. We're now going to close session, consultation with attorney, Texas Government Code Section 551.071. The time now is 8:04 a.m. and the board will now reconvene in open session. The next item on the agenda is our action item. Discuss and consider approval of resolution authorizing intervention in the accountability lawsuit against the state of Texas. Is there any discussion?
Trustees, as an administrative recommendation, we are asking you to consider joining this. We believe that it is clearly outlined that the commissioner has not met his statutory responsibilities as the commissioner in the Texas Education Agency to adequately give us notice, to adequately publish the accountability manual, and to adequately publish the accountability scores in the times outlined in state statute. And so we have been advocating very clearly regarding this. We contacted our legislators back in March. We've been working to continually try and address this system to no avail. And today we ask you to consider joining this lawsuit to continue that.
I just want to say, based on the information that we've been given and the discussion, this just absolutely seems like the best and right thing to do.
Agreed. I'll also say I've had a lot of families in our district, all across the district, reach out and ask questions, and unilaterally they've all said that they feel like this is the right thing to do, to join in here, and our job is not only to do what's right for the students, but also listen to the voice of our constituents as well.
I have a question. So because school districts, we operate on taxpayer money, and when our community does hear about this, if we decide to go that route, they may think dollar signs. So can you talk about just the implications on our budget, if there is any major implication on budget?
Yeah, and joining this, we would be spending about approximately $13,500, which is about 1/10,000 of our school district budget.
So to that point, I mean, I really look at this as actually an investment. I mean, the impact of changing the way the accountability rules, or the way that the accountability is calculated after the fact, does have a real, I'll say, sort of emotional response for our teaching staff, right? And so, so in my mind, like spending $13,000 I see that as an investment in our teachers, right? And an investment in their emotional well-being around understanding ahead of time what are the goals, right? What are we trying to achieve? And then being able to measure that after the fact. We didn't give them the first part, right? We didn't give them the ability to understand. The state didn't give them the ability to understand ahead of time where's the target. And so then if you yank the carpet out from under them after the fact, after we've already had the opportunity to do district improvement plans, and after we've, they've already poured their hearts and souls into, delivering the results we asked them to deliver during the school year, we yank the carpet out from under them. That's incredibly demoralizing, right? And so the $13,000 to some extent I see as an investment, in the well-being of our staff. So I again, small fraction of what we're doing, but I think it actually pays off from that standpoint. I also think from a community standpoint, the schools are the heart of our communities, right? And to some extent, the ratings impact what happens in your community. And so we're not asking for no accountability, right? Like, actually, we want accountability. We want to know ahead of time, right? We want to be able to make the plans to be able to achieve, right? But again, if for no other reason, then you just change the rules after the fact and it impacts your school's ratings, and your school ratings potentially go down, which I think primarily is what the result of this would be. That does have a larger impact to the community as well, right? And the desirability of the community. So for the little bit of the cost, right? Again, 1/100,000th, is that what you said? 1/10,000th of our school budget, right? I mean, I think that investment pays off, assuming this ends in the direction that we're hoping it ends, right? I think that pays off many times over.
Well said.
Anyone else? As I sat and thought about this for the last week or so, Austin is always sending us things that we did this in policy for a couple of years. And they send us these rules that we have to follow, but, and then they tout local control. And then we get hit with this, and if you look at the statute, I mean, I'm not an education expert by any means, but just reading what has been filed, we're just asking the commissioner to comply with the law. I mean, if you had an August 15th deadline, then comply with that. I don't think we're asking too much, because that's what the legislature passed, that's what the governor put into law. So you're asking us to comply with rules, but you guys won't do that. I mean, that's disheartening. It's along the lines that Chris was bringing up. So I think it would be a good way to go. I think it's the right thing to do for our district. And it's time to take up for ourselves. Anyone else? All right. Do we have a motion to approve the resolution authorizing intervention in the accountability lawsuit against the state of Texas?
I'll make that
Mr.
motion.
Norwood, second. Ms. Bass? All in favor, please raise your hands. That passes 7-0. All right, there being no further